Just days into summer and a broad heatwave is already spreading across the country. Throughout the southern states, the burst of heat is sending temperatures more than 10 degrees Celsius above average and raising fire danger to extreme. For the northern outback, the heat will linger into next week with oppressive daily temperatures well above 40 degrees. And according to the Bureau of Meteorology, the current heatwave is just the beginning of what should transpire into one of Australia's hottest summers on record. Let's cross now to the Bureau, where I'm joined by senior meteorologist Sarah Scully. A very good morning to you, Sarah.
Good morning.
So this heatwave has been spreading from the west to the east since Monday. Let's start with New South Wales, where those extreme temperatures are expected. Can you take us through the numbers?
Yeah, look, we are expecting the temperatures to reach the mid-30s about coastal areas, but as soon as we move away from the coast inland, they're nudging towards 40 degrees and even a couple of degrees higher through inland, the outback inland parts. Those high temperatures are expected to continue into tomorrow, and it's not just the daytime temperatures, though, that are going to be high, it's also the overnight temperatures, and that's where that heat wave warning comes into play, because the heat wave is when the body doesn't get a chance to recover from the high temperatures during the day in the overnight period.
It's the Sydney metro area. How's that looking?
Yeah, for the Sydney Metro, we're forecasting around 35 to 36 degrees for the next couple of days. But again, as soon as you head in towards those western suburbs, they're nudging to 40, 41 degrees for the next couple of days. Tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be the peak heat day for Sydney, and it's also going to be very, very windy. So we will have a fire weather warning current for much of eastern and inland and northern parts of New South Wales for tomorrow with those hot, dry and windy conditions. But there's also a risk of a thunderstorm, but not a lot of rainfall is expected with any storms that do form, which does create a concern with regards to dry lightning.
So you said that tomorrow you're expected a bit of a reprieve come Saturday. We're sticking with New South Wales just for now. We'll get to the other states in just a moment. What are you expected? When is this reprieve coming? Is the southerly buster going to come through and sort things out?
Look, we're expecting the southerly change to push into western and southern parts of New South Wales later on Saturday. For the Sydney area, that change is expected to sweep up the east coast, reaching Sydney sometime after dawn. So the Sunday maximum temperatures are much more comfortable. We're forecasting them to be in the mid, some inland areas, high 20s, but much more tolerable compared to the high 30s to 40 degrees from today and to tomorrow.
So the extreme warnings for the New South Wales South Coast and the severe heat warnings for the Hunter, Metropolitan, Illawarra, Southern Tablelands and Snowy Mountains, will they step back over the weekend?
Yeah, they'll ease off as soon as that southerly change pushes through and brings relief to those high temperatures. Those heat wave warnings will be cancelled.
OK, let's step outside of New South Wales now. We know that Queensland is also set to swelter.
Yeah, look, Queensland has experienced reprieve from the severe thunderstorm outbreak that's been affecting them for really all of last week. So this week has been relatively quiet weather-wise, and we've had dry southeasterlies. However, that is expected to come to an end on Sunday, where storms are expected to redevelop, and there is the potential for severe thunderstorms once again continuing into next week.
OK, the Northern Territory is not going to be spared either. Were you looking at temperatures there to the mid-40s?
Yeah, that's right. And as well, we're expecting the shower and storm activity to start to increase this weekend across the tropical north. We've been seeing the usual daytime, afternoon, evening showers and storms, but we're expecting that to start to increase as we head into Saturday and Sunday. OK, you mentioned fire dangers there before. Where are the most extreme risks over the next day or two? Today, the greatest risk is about northern parts of Victoria and southern parts of New South Wales. We did have a cold front that swept the hot and gusty conditions away from southern parts of Victoria and southern parts of South Australia yesterday. That moved through Melbourne during the early evening and saw the temperature drop 10 to 15 degrees in as many minutes. So that was a really typical southerly change for that summertime, but it didn't make its way over the north of the divide. So today, stays still really hot through northern parts of Victoria, and it's also windy. Similar for southern parts of New South Wales, extreme fire danger. So we do have a fire weather warning current for the Northern Country, Mallee District and the Riverina District of New South Wales.
We're looking at communities across large parts of the country who are being impacted by this severe weather. What is your advice to them?
Look, just to stay up to date with our latest warnings, they're often updated throughout the day. And as always, listen to all of the advice from your local emergency services.
OK, what does this all spell for summer?
Okay, well, our long-range forecast is indicating that summer is likely to have above-average temperatures during the daytime and nighttime temperatures as well. With regards to rainfall, large parts of Australia are expected to have below-average rainfall, so that includes southeastern parts like the Melbourne, Adelaide and Tasmanian area. However, parts of eastern Australia, including the east coast of Queensland, have a chance of having above average rainfall. So it's a bit of a mixed bag with regards to our summer forecast, but one thing that's across the board is above average temperatures.